and we are off. Scott Jenson in 13th place. He's getting an okay start. We've got 44 laps of Spa here. The Ferrari through this corner getting a brilliant slipstream here. Going to go past the Ferrari. He's coming through the left-hander, and he's going to... Oh, God, he's been too confident on the acceleration, and he's crashed out. Hey the guys, over here bringing you my F1 2013 career mode with Scott Jenson, and today we're at the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. The Tifosi are out and about for Ferrari obviously, but we're with Sauber with Scott, and after a dismal Belgium Grand Prix, as you could see by the recap before, and it didn't go too well for Scott, and we're going to have to see how it goes for him today, and he's qualified very well indeed. 3rd place in qualifying. It seems Italy is just a very easy track for many cars to do well, really. I mean, not too much of a surprise in who is surrounding Scott on the grid, but still, to do a 3rd place in the Sauber is very impressive, although it is known that the Sauber is a bit more kind of a bit too overpowered than it is in real life on this game, so we won't read too much into it, but this is good 3rd place, so can he convert it into a podium? We'll have to see, really. And after the Belgium Grand Prix, I think Scott will just be wanting to finish the race, really, and just get some points on the board for Sauber. Obviously, Sauber are now currently behind Toro Rosso in the constructors' standings, but obviously now with Scott in Sauber, his goal will be to try and overhaul Toro Rosso on the points and also catch McLaren as well. Scott helped Toro Rosso get ahead of McLaren, and now he'll be doing the same for Sauber. And obviously he's trying to impress because he's a Ferrari young driver, so he'll be wanting to try and get a seat in Ferrari for Season 2, so he'll be wanting to impress. But here we go, and it looks like coming from practice, Scott will be preferring the prime tyres. Actually, he can lean on them a lot more, so we're on the options obviously as we qualified on those tyres, so we're going to be discarding those most likely for the first stint, and then we'll see where Scott's going to go, really, and I think he might be going to prime on the end. We'll have to see, really. So here we go for the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza. It's a very sunny day actually, and we've got Sebastian Vettel, none other, on pole. Were you ever expecting something else? And we've got Scott in 3rd place, very good 3rd place, and Nico Hülkenberg, his teammate, in 9th place, doing a good job. So both Saubers very competitive. We've got an all-German front row of Nico Rosberg as well lining up, so we've got 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix, and we're off, and Scott gets an okay start there. He's using quite a lot of his curves to stay with Rosberg, and Vettel's had a stormer of a start there, but I think we got, wow, is that Alonso? Yes, Alonso having a fantastic start here in Italy, Monza, but Scott goes down the inside of all 4 of them. Scott overtaking all 3 of them, not 4 of them, sorry, all 3 of them into the first corner, so this is brilliant stuff from him, and he's overtaken, he's into 1st place now. He's got 27 laps ahead of him of this Monza circuit, so he's got Alonso hustling and harrying him. Alonso tries to go around the outside, you can see it in his mirrors. Alonso's going to try and make a move down the inside. No, he's not. Scott keeps 1st place, he's going to go through the chicane, and now he's going to keep his 1st place, try and capitalise on it and try and build the gap. So until lap 4, unfortunately the gap was not made. Rosberg is right there behind him, going through Lesmo 2, I think that's called, correct me if I'm wrong, and we're using a bit of curves, but Rosberg is right there, scaling the slipstream, powering past Scott, and the German with DRS, I might add, is completely past, and I think that might be the kind of only fight we see really from Rosberg. Really, I think he's going to storm off into the distance. It already looks like he's getting a lot of speed there, so I think Rosberg might be out of the kind of fight with Scott, but Scott's getting a bit of a slipstream here, so we'll have to see what goes. Scott trying to make a move, but no, he's understeered completely in the dirty air of Rosberg. He's completely understeered into the Parabolica, so now he's being hustled by Hamilton, and now we'll see where Hamilton goes. He'll have DRS obviously as well, but Scott actually has DRS from Rosberg, so he's going to try and get a slipstream on Rosberg, staying ahead of Hamilton, maybe making a move on Rosberg here. We'll have to see. He does make a move on Rosberg, he makes it move. Oh god, he locks up horribly, but he's defending hard from Rosberg, really chucking the car right and then left, and he's made the move stick, and he's up into first place here with Nico Rosberg fighting back though. Rosberg, I think, using a lot of his curves, and now Rosberg going down the inside of Scott. Scott giving him the room. The German of Nico Rosberg in the Mercedes goes round the outside of Scott. It's going to be tight. Scott's going to give him the space. Fair driving for the both of them, but Nico Rosberg comes out better of him, and of course Nico has more experience than Scott, and Nico has made the pass for first place. But Nico's made a mistake. Scott's going to try and make it down the Lesmo too, but there's no room really, and because of that, trying to make a move down the inside, he doesn't get a good exit, and so Rosberg's out into the distance, and that will be pretty much the end of the fight for first place really. So on lap 6 now, Scott's going to make his pit stop. He's down to lean mix, and look at those tyres, really quite worn there. And going on to the primes, and as I said, probably leading on the primes much better, so going to the end most likely on sets of primes. So I think it's going to be a 3-stop. Quite surprising, Italy a 3-stop here on this game, but yeah, 3-stop with you know, 3 sets of primes to come up really, I think. So on to lap 9. Scott is currently in second place, but I think we've got Webber right behind us. Yes, we do. Webber's going to storm down around the outside of Scott, but Scott's not going to give up. Not going to give up in this fight. He's going to go down the inside of Webber, going to try and challenge him, but Webber's going to defend well. Scott's going to get a nice cut back there. He gets the car in a much straighter line before Webber. Webber's set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, but Scott has got a good slipstream here, and Webber trying to defend. And maybe Scott will make a move around the outside and down the inside. Maybe no, round the outside into the chicane. He's going to make the move stick. And yes, he's into second place there and caused a collision warning. So the steward's feeling that maybe there might be a slight tap with Mark Webber. So we'll have to see. But on to lap 11. Mark Webber's gone past Scott into the DRS zone, into Ascari. So Webber is passed and into second place. Scott losing out. A lot of understeer there. Loss of grip. And Alonso's on the back of him now. So Alonso's going to overtake him now, is he? Going wheel to wheel, side by side. Currently, you can see in the mirrors, they're side by side pretty much. Alonso's got past though with a Ferrari engine. Much better than the Sauber Ferrari engine. So the works Ferrari against the Sauber Ferrari. But looks like Scott's just tapped Alonso wide a tiny bit. No stewards action though. Looked like the stewards felt Alonso didn't give enough room to Scott. So he was obliged to try and take the place. And there's a little knock. Alonso is down to 5th place right now. Now Hamilton in 4th place on the back of Scott. Scott's got DRS though to defend from Hamilton. So down to the first corner, he's going to defend from Hamilton very well there. Through the first chicane, and he's through, and he's into 3rd place. Webber trying to storm off in the way, so we'll have to see what goes on. So on to lap 19. As you can see, Webber is still very much there, and actually Scott's been closing down a 6-second gap, and now he's got it to, we'll see on the split time, he's got it down to 2 seconds now to Webber, so he's been really pacing this on the second prime stint. So he's really been pacing Webber and really catching him up. So it looks like Scott has the better pace right now on these prime tyres, being able to lean on them. I think Webber is currently on the option tyres as well, so I think that just shows that the prime tyres much better race tyre here at Italy, Monza, to lean on, really. So now it looks like Webber's diving into the pits, so Webber into the pits. Scott's going to come through into second place, and now to the next lap, subsequently. Scott wants to pit now. He's going on to another set of prime tyres, I feel. He's on to lean mix again, and we've got Vettel in 3rd. Perez in 4th, and I think we've got Webber behind them. So obviously Vettel and Perez not pitting yet, so they're sort of not in the actual podium fight. They're sort of sort of obstacles for Webber and Scott. So coming out of the pits now, we can see I think Vettel and Perez have gone past. Let's see who's behind them. Yes, it is Webber. So Scott is out ahead of Webber crucially. So Scott having the ultimate pace on Mark Webber and able to build a gap to him in the pit stops. And so he's in comfortably into second place, setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix on lap 25. Purple sectors all round. Scott setting the fastest pace right now. He can't catch Rosberg though. It's too late really. Rosberg's bolted. And I think it's guaranteed that he'll be winning this Grand Prix, as now we're going to come on to the last lap.
Yes! Great job, Nico. Excellent job. Well done, mate. Woo! Yeah!
So Nico Rosberg wins the Italian Grand Prix, but crucially, Scott Jenson, new rookie to this year, the new boy in Sauber now, has got second place in the Sauber Ferrari, beating the works Ferrari of Fernando Alonso and the Red Bulls of Vettel and Webber. Here he is celebrating on the podium. It's been a great episode for the F1 2013 Cremo with Scott Jenson. Give it a like if you enjoyed it, guys. Comment below on what you thought. Like if you enjoyed. Subscribing you for weekly F1. And this is a fantastic lead for Scott. Some good points for Sauber. So I'll be passing on to my colleague Jeff to bring you through the results. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Yes, so it was an absolute fantastic Italian Grand Prix with Nico Rosberg winning the race, but crucially Scott Jenson getting a brilliant, memorable second place there in the Grand Prix ahead of Mark Webber. So Sebastian Vettel leads the Drivers' Championship with Fernando Alonso in second. In the Constructors, Sauber are currently 7th place, just behind McLaren and behind Toro Rosso, but they're closing up on Toro Rosso and McLaren, I might add, by scoring ahead of them in this race. So a good day for the Sauber boys, and especially for Scott Jenson. We thoroughly hope you've enjoyed that Italian Grand Prix. Absolutely stunner of a Grand Prix there, and we'll see you next time for the next Grand Prix. Until then, we'll see you then. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Goodbye until then.